This is wrong, this is bad, this is... Come on. Do you have a mirror in your house? From wine to rockets.
Those famous rocket stores in Brazil.
Oh, great. Oh, it's dangerous. Because of the war, because... Huh? What?
In Brazil, a snake swallowed a member of parliament.
Only one?
I wanted to ask the question that quite bothers lots of Ukrainians. It's quite harsh. Since 1946, there is this tradition at the United Nations that Brazil is speaking first, and it's always a great bid for leadership if your voice is heard first. And Ukraine strongly supports, for example, Brazil's application for permanent membership in the United Nations Security Council, and etc. However, when Ukraine needed support of the whole world, when Russia annexed Crimea, during the voting for of the UN General Assembly resolution on the territorial integrity of Ukraine, Brazil abstained. So I believe we are not the first to ask you this, but our question is why? What is the position of Brazil as for this question?
Brazil always supported and will continue to support the integrity of the territorial area of Ukraine, the one decided in 1991 from, after the new independence. But in diplomacy, there are moments that you have to adapt your position. Not adapt your position. Our position hasn't changed, but adapt how you vote in the United Nations, because United Nations it's a big chess. We were not against. Abstention doesn't mean no. Means that we will not say anything now, but we keep our position. So this is why.
So it depends on the current political conjuncture in Brazil?
No, it depends on many aspects in the international agenda, and the game is not a very simple game. So sometimes you have to make some moves, keeping your traditional positions, just to better achieve better results.
You're talking like Brzezinski.
Brzezinski.
Brazil is Ukraine's largest trading partner in the South America, and that's great to know. Apart from industrial goods, are there any products made in Ukraine that could be found in the shelves of Brazilian stores?
I think yes. Yes, there are many things. From wine to rockets.
Those famous rocket stores in Brazil.
So there's a wide range of goods that could be, but this is the old way of thinking: export, and not buy. No, in this globalized world, we have to merge. We have to do joint ventures in order to with our capacities, to explore other markets. So you have this free trade agreement with Europe. Why not bring some companies from Brazil that have some expertise in some areas that you would need some expertise to invest here and export to Europe, to European Union, or to other countries of the region.
Again, a couple of weeks ago, President signed a law on DSET, a special tax regime for IT. I know that you've mentioned that Brazilians are interested in IT development, which means that for Brazilian companies registered in Ukraine, there will be lower taxes and new forms of help me please, of interaction with Ukrainian IT specialists under gig contracts. So it also brings a lot of opportunities to work together.
We already have a company, a huge Brazilian company, operating here, Stefanini, in IT.
Stefanini?
Yeah. So they have a headquarters in Bucharest, but they have a branch here as well, working here from here. So, but for that, we have to tell our businessmen not to read the newspapers every day. Because when Ukrainians and Brazilians, they read the newspapers, what they see about Brazil. Oh, there's a confusion, the political problems, there is violence, blah, blah, blah. Pick up the ones that speak about Ukrainians. Oh, there's an unsafe country, there is a nuclear, blah, blah, blah. Stop.
Whom should they listen to?
To the reality.
To the reality.
And to listen to the reality, you have to come here and go there. Because if you don't travel to a country, you can read, you can be a scholar in a country. Like there are many in some countries that they study from their offices in the northwest part of the world. They study countries in Africa, in South America, in Central Europe, like here, and they read a lot. They have lots of opinions. Have they put their feet in these countries? Never. So you can only understand the country, you can only understand reality when you go somewhere and see, smell, and taste. Without that, no, I don't trust you. Have you been there? Have you tried? It's like some friends say, yesterday a diplomat said, oh, you drive here? Of course I drive. The drivers are very polite. When you pass in front of them, you let them go, they put the alert sign to say thank you.
Yeah.
And it's a clean cities. Nobody throws a cigarette on the street. Few, maybe, yeah, of course. But they are polite.
Yep.
When I arrived here, that I couldn't even read Ukrainian. Now I can read it, I still cannot speak.
So
but
nice.
I will. In the supermarket, maybe because of my white hair, people think that I'm too old, but I'm not. But they help. They try to talk to you to help. So, and this, I had learned on books that I read about the history of Ukraine. And the blogs, the vlogs, the YouTubes I saw, young couples traveling here say, oh, this is wrong, this is bad, this is bad. Come on. Do you have a mirror in your house? Look at yourself, look at your country. It's easy to go somewhere else and criticize. But it's more difficult to, it's easy, but because it's difficult to see the bright things of the country, the better things it has. As I told you today, that the view is not good today because it's gray.
It's fantastic.
It's a fantastic view here. It's one of the most beautiful views of Kiev from here.
Yeah.
So, I was not saying, oh, it's not nice. Could be better. And could be better after the rain. So, this is the what I try to tell business people here and there. Don't try to see bad things. They are, yes, everywhere. Try to see the good things that are much more and better than the bad ones.
What a wonderful promotion
So
of Ukraine.
Kyiv,
as a
not Kyiv, invites
destination.
all the Brazilian businessmen to Ukraine and all the Ukrainian businessmen to Brazil.
Yes, this is it.
Yeah.
And people in tourism.
Yep.
No? The Ukrainians say, oh, it's too dangerous to go to Brazil. I have never been attacked, robbed, etc., etc. And the Brazilians say, oh, Ukraine, oh, it's dangerous because of the war, because... Huh? What? Oh, the roads are not good. No, one of my secretaries said, oh, Ambassador, you drive there, but the roads are not good. I said, oh, yeah? Okay, let me check. The roads are not perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. It's not an autobahn in Germany.
Yep.
But soon they will be. The roads are getting better and better. And even the small roads, on the day I came from Ternopil, I'm driving always, and with our translator, and we took a very small road, very, very small, completely covered by trees. Beautiful. You could say that this must be in France, in Austria. No, it's Ukraine. Let's see the beautiful part of the things, of the country, of life. Why not?
So nice.
It's easier.
Absolutely agree.
It's easier.
Continuing the topic of tourism, Mr. Ambassador, we know that you hold both the position of the Ambassador of Brazil to Ukraine and the Ambassador of Brazil to Moldova. As for any representative of Latin America, some Eastern European countries may seem similar or alike, but we know that you travel a lot in Ukraine, Lviv, Kharkiv, Dnipro, Odessa, Ternopil. So what makes Ukraine different from not only from other Latin American countries, but also from other neighboring countries in Eastern Europe? What's so peculiar about our country?
First of all, let me try to correct you.
Okay.
Don't take me wrongly. I don't think Ukraine is Eastern Europe. Ukraine was Eastern Europe during the bipolar period. There were the West, the Wall,
And the East.
The East. So Ukraine was in the eastern part. Why don't you say that Lithuania is eastern country? Poland. They were all from the eastern side, Warsaw Pact, etc., etc. Geographically, Europe ends at the Urals in Russia, Federation. So, if you look at the European map, this is my perspective. Ukraine, Poland,
Very hard.
Belarus is the heart, is the center Europe, and Russia is Eastern Europe, geographically speaking.
Yep.
This is my perspective for what I look at the maps. So, as a Central European country, well, the day you will join the European Union, will you become a Western country, a Central European country, and no longer an Eastern country?
Well, just
European.
keep being Europe.
Yeah.
Being Europe, this is it. So, what we see different here in Moldova. I've been only once in Moldova. It was winter, it was white, something we don't have there, not much. Sometimes in Paraná we have some snow. But it's the climate approach. No? As here you have 4 seasons. And even the months are connected to the seasons, because it's the old way to understand the year, what is going on. And in Brazil, normally we have 2 seasons, hot and less hot, so warm and less warm.
Oh, I'd love
And
to have.
so here, what could be difference? Because as I said, Brazil is melting pot. Well, some architectural style, some technical aspects of agriculture. Yeah, but no, because in the south of Brazil, even for example, there are some cities, Blumenau. Till today, they write in Gothic letters, like in the old times in Germany, in Prussia. It's in Gothic. So we go to Germany, we see Gothic handwriting, and we see here, we see in Brazil. So I cannot see. Wow, this is completely different. Like when you go to Bhutan, for example.
Oh,
Yeah, this is it's a contrast. I've been to Bhutan. I've seen the beautiful buildings they have there, built in wood. This is fantastic. But here, no, it's more. In my opinion, it's more or less the same.
Now it's going to be my favorite part of the interviews, because that's the one we haven't informed you about. And Victoria shows us that we've got a couple of minutes left, but still I want us to move forward, because it's going to be short, informal questions. I adore to speak about that. And what if we try just from this one? So, if you write in a Google search in Brazil, in Ukrainian, the first line will show snowfall in Brazil, and the second, in Brazil, a snake swallowed a member of parliament.
Only one?
How is this possible? How is this possible? I thought there is no snow in Brazil.
Well, snow, there is snow sometimes, and this winter was very harsh in Brazil, even in São Paulo, where the temperatures can go down to 7, 6. We had almost minus, and we had snow in some cities in Paraná and in Rio Grande do Sul, a little bit south, and but a snake that ate a member of parliament, well, never heard. Never heard.
I checked that it was a fake, of course, but come on, it's the second line of Google search. That's why it made me...
you see why we were discussing that. Don't read the news.
Yes, exactly. But what I came up with the idea, what if you will try to text in Ukraine, in Portuguese, and to see what Brazilian websites and the
Chernobyl,
Google search will
war,
show.
Insecurity, cold.
You see how much things have we to
and
work
and
with?
these things, and the other bad things that I will not say what it is.
So let's not trust Google. Trust Mr. Ambassador.
No, trust the reality. Come
And the
to
common sense.
See common sense. This is it. Come, see, taste, and smell, and take your conclusions.
A short game.
So now we are moving to the most interesting part of our interview. This is the interactive game. We prepared the little game for our audience as well to learn some particular things both about Ukraine and Brazil. Mr. Ambassador, Tanya, you have cards that indicate the country that you represent. I will name the fact about one of the countries, and if it applies to Brazil, you show the flag of Brazil, and if it applies to Ukraine, you show the flag of Ukraine, okay? So shall we start? Once a year, people from this country traditionally wear bright costumes and walk the streets of the city in a festive procession, singing and dancing.
Is it Malanka? Traditional Christmas celebration where people dressed, carolers go from house to house singing carols?
Now in Brazil we have this in Bahia, where the ladies wash the stairs of Bonfim Church and others. They're all in white, cleaning the stairs of the church.
So this can be applied both to
That's why I had to Brazil.
And to Ukraine.
Okay.
Second question. The national football team of this country has won the World Cup 5 times.
This is easy.
Every Ukrainian can name those legendary names like Pelé, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and so on and so forth. The list is so long. Yeah. What about Brazilian? Can you name a couple of Ukrainian football players?
Or maybe 2 or 3 Brazilians that play here.
We were hoping that you would name at least Shevchenko.
No, sorry.
Not even a competition. Okay, so another fact. The president of this country starred in a series in which he actually played the president.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it was the case for Brazil. And you know why? Because for the most of Ukrainians, especially the older generation, the main association with Brazil is your beautiful and long TV series.
Yeah,
all these like Clara Isaura, Tropicaliente, O Clone. Oh my God, yeah. I watched this story about beautiful Jade, and of course... If she made a bid for presidential
you're absolutely
seat.
right. And we have not many comedians that became members of parliament, but we have a football player, Romário, that was a World Cup winner. And he's a very active senator in Brazil. So it's a good contribution for the parliamentary work.
We have a boxer who is also a mayor.
A mayor of Kyiv.
So another fact, the last one, there is a culture in this country that combines dance with the elements of martial arts.
You're cheating!
No, I'm not, because you have capoeira.
Yes.
And you have capoeira in Ukraine as well. It's very, very spread in the
It
many
is.
people play.
It is
capoeira.
very popular
Yeah.
indeed.
Exactly, and moreover, we also have hopak that combines element of dances with the combat. And I believe that in Brazil, we also dance hopak as a traditional Ukrainian dance. So you see how many things we have in common. That's
The
great.
distance.
This
Means nothing.
mean
Means
anything,
nothing.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank
I
you
agree.
for this game. I hope that you liked it.
Yeah, we
did.
both won.
Okay. Okay, guys, thank you for watching us today. These were Polina Bachuk and Tetiana Hajduk.
And today we had an incredible guest and we enjoyed every minute of conversation with Mr. Ambassador of Brazil to Ukraine, Norton de Andrade Mello Rapesta. Thank you very much for having us, for the conversation, for beautiful view of Kyiv straight from Brazil.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure and honor.
It was my pleasure, my honor to be here with you, with all your audience. Come to Brazil, come to Ukraine, and good luck.
Keep in touch. Thank
Stay
you.
safe and kind. It's Kyiv, not Kiev, from Ukraine with love. Yay!
Very good.